first series and was down below the top 300.
But also, but in its culinary category, genre, it was one of the top shows.
But the thing is, it generates publicity. It gets us all talking.
That's true.
Doesn't it?
Honestly, it'll be front pages tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing, and people will talk about it. They talk about it on social media. They talk about it in news.
Yeah.
We're talking about it now.
Yeah.
You know, we're dedicating a whole show just to this one series. Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right. Sorry. I think you're absolutely right, is that, you know, whether people are going into it with an open mind thinking, here is a cooking show and here's a crafting show and it's done by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Let me watch it with an open mind and let me watch it to maybe find a recipe that I might like or a skill I might pick up. People are going in it because they either really, really like her or really, really hate her. Definitely. And it's going to get so many streams from people that I hate watching. I mean, I could just never waste my time like that. If I didn't like something or didn't like someone, what I would never do is watch the whole series and then bitch about it online, because that's a massive waste of your life.
Definitely. I mean, going into that, I wouldn't watch it again because I did learn nothing. And I appreciate your view that...
So you weren't doing the QR code for the recipes?
No,
that was new, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's, you know, they say all publicity is good publicity. I actually don't think so in this case. Yes, we are all talking about it, but not for the right reasons. We're not talking about this amazing, paratha that she made with Jay Shetty. We're talking about how terrible and lobotomized she is and how she can't actually, communicate to an audience.
Actually,
and she's trying to sell jam. That's the main thing of this whole thing. So I don't think it's actually great publicity, and I don't think it's a good thing that people are talking about this Netflix series in such a way.
But this is the thing, is that, but we are talking about it differently. You don't like it, so you are talking about it negatively. I did like it, I'm talking about it positively. And actually, that's what we have to recognize, is that there is people out there who are not you, and that's okay, who will love it, and there is people out there who are not me.
There's a small percentage who will like it.
I mean, I don't know how much the percentages is, and maybe I'll go out and do a survey. But you also do have to accept that there is people out there who will like it. Just because you don't doesn't mean that everybody hates it. And the same way for me, just because I like it doesn't mean that everybody else will. And I think we have to come from a place of balance, which when it comes to Meghan, the Duchess, when it comes to Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, that is lost. There doesn't seem to be balance. I think people will either come from being very negative or very positive without a sort of, overview of it.
I guess it depends.
Why does Meghan Sussex, a woman of strength and grace, garner so much disdain from certain quarters? It's a question that continues to baffle many. This woman, who embodies resilience and charm, finds herself at the receiving end of unrelenting criticism and scorn. And for what? It's a puzzle that's been jumbled, scrambled, and tossed around, yet the pieces just don't seem to fit together. The vitriol seems to come from a place of blind, illogical hatred. It's a conundrum that leaves us scratching our heads, wondering, what could possibly warrant such relentless negativity? Enter the scene Afua Hagen, a beacon of reason amidst this tumultuous sea of animosity. She's not just a spectator, she's a player, stepping into the fray, ready to challenge the nonsensical narrative that's been spun around Meghan. Afua Hagen is not just a name, but a voice that dares to question, to challenge, to expose the baseless hatred. And who are these critics? Characters like Sarah Houston TV and Samara, white women who seem to harbour an inexplicable animosity towards Meghan. Their words, their actions, they're a stark contrast to the woman they claim to despise. It's a disparity that's both baffling and disconcerting. And then there's the man in the blue sweatshirt who, despite his dishevelled appearance, seems all too eager to spew venom at Meghan. It's a spectacle that's as puzzling as it is infuriating. Through all of this, Meghan remains a figure of poise and grace. She's not the villain they paint her to be. She's simply Meghan Sussex, a woman who continues to rise above the hate, the criticism, the scorn. As we delve into this perplexing issue, let's not forget the one constant amidst all this chaos, Afua Hagen. She's not just watching from the sidelines, she's in the thick of it, challenging the narrative, calling out the haters, defending Meghan Sussex from the relentless tirade of baseless accusations. One woman, Afua Hagen, rises above the noise to shed light on this perplexing issue. As we venture further into this tale of division and defense, remember, it's not just about the hate, it's about the voice that dares to challenge it, the voice of Afua Hagen, Sarah Hewson TV and Samara, two of Meghan's most vehement critics, seem to be driven by baseless animosity. These are two individuals who, for reasons that evade logic, have taken it upon themselves to stir the pot of antagonism towards Meghan Sussex. Sarah Hewson TV, a name that has become synonymous with unfounded criticism, appears to be relentless in her pursuit to berate Meghan. Her harsh words and unyielding judgments seem to stem not from a place of reason, but rather from a place of pure disdain. It's as if she's playing a game of darts in the dark, throwing accusations without any substantial basis. The question is, why such vehement hatred for Meghan Sussex? The answer remains as elusive as the logic behind her criticisms. On the other hand, we have Samara. Now, Samara is no stranger to controversy, often finding herself in the eye of the storm. Her critiques of Meghan Sussex, however, seem to be more of a personal vendetta than an objective analysis. The venom in her words, the fervour in her voice, they all point to an unreasonable hatred towards Meghan Sussex. One can't help but wonder if Samara is simply projecting her own insecurities onto Meghan. Both Sarah Hewson TV and Samara claim to be speaking from a place of reason, but their words tell a different story. They're like two sides of the same coin, both driven by an inexplicable animosity towards Meghan Sussex. This isn't about holding someone accountable or offering constructive criticism. No, this is about hatred that is blind, illogical, and most importantly, unreasonable. It's disheartening to see such baseless animosity towards Meghan Sussex, a woman who, despite the criticism, continues to rise above the hate. It's a testament to her strength and resilience, but it's also a reminder of the unreasonable hatred she faces. But, as we shall see, their words fall flat in the face of reason. Because when it comes to Meghan Sussex, the truth always prevails. And that truth is her unwavering strength in the face of such unreasonable hatred. Enter Afua Hagen, a beacon of reason amidst the chaos. In the swirling storm of vitriol and irrational hatred, Afua stands out as a pillar of logic and compassion. She is not swayed by the waves of negativity that surround Meghan Sussex. Instead, she sees through the fog of animosity to the woman at the heart of it all. Afua Hagen, a woman of integrity and intelligence, has repeatedly risen to Meghan's defense. She's taken a stand, not because it's popular or easy, but because it's right. In a world where it's all too common to tear each other down, Afua chooses to lift others up. She's unafraid to call out the irrational hatred for what it is, baseless and unwarranted. She has pointedly questioned the motives of those who seem to despise Meghan, such as Sarah Hewson and Samara. She has boldly highlighted their lack of reasonable justification for their animosity. But it's not just about calling out the haters. Afua Hagen also tirelessly defends Meghan Sussex, painting a different narrative to the one that's so often splashed across the headlines. She highlights Meghan's philanthropic efforts, her resilience in the face of adversity, and her unyielding determination to stay true to herself. Afua's defense isn't blind adulation, it's grounded in reason and fairness. She doesn't shy away from acknowledging Meghan's flaws, but she also never fails to underscore her strengths. In doing so, Afua presents a balanced perspective, a refreshing change in a discourse that's often skewed. Even when faced with the person in the blue sweatshirt who seemed to have made it their mission to disparage Meghan, Afua didn't back down. She stood her ground, refusing to let unfounded accusations go unchallenged. It's this fearlessness that makes her defense of Meghan all the more powerful. Afua Hagen, a voice of reason, challenges the narrative and calls out the baseless hatred. Her courage, her conviction, and her commitment to standing up for what she believes in serve as a reminder that sometimes the loudest voices aren't always the ones that should be listened to. It's the voices of reason, like Afua's, that truly deserve our attention. Afua Hagen doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk. As a beacon of reason amidst a tempest of illogical hatred, Afua Hagen has consistently stood up for Meghan Sussex. But how exactly does she do it? Let's delve into some specific examples. Firstly, her words. Afua's defense is not just reactive, but proactive. She doesn't wait for an attack to occur before standing up for Meghan. She's always a step ahead, preemptively debunking myths and misconceptions. She uses a blend of facts, empathy, and wit to craft her arguments, dismantling the baseless criticisms targeted at Meghan. One of her most notable defenses was against Sarah Hewson, a white woman whose disdain for Meghan was palpable. With a sharp intellect and a calm demeanour, Afua challenged Sarah's biased narrative, compelling her to question her own prejudices. Similarly, she took on Samara, another Meghan critic, with the same grace and tenacity, never backing down, never compromising on her principles. But Afua's defence extends beyond words. Her actions speak volumes about her commitment to standing up against unjust hatred. She uses her platform to amplify Meghan's voice, sharing her achievements and contributions, countering the negativity with positivity. She's not just defending Meghan Sussex, she's celebrating her, and in turn, inspiring others to do the same. Afua's defence is also about challenging the status quo. She doesn't just defend Meghan Sussex, she defends all women who are unjustly criticised and marginalised. She's not afraid to call out double standards and unfair treatment, boldly pushing for change. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of Afua's defence is her unyielding resolve. She's faced backlash, criticism, and even personal attacks, but she remains firm, undeterred. She doesn't let the haters silence her. Instead, she uses their negativity as fuel, becoming even more resolute in her defence. Afua Hagen, through her unapologetic defence, shows us the power of standing up for what is right. And in doing so, she's not just a defender, but a champion, a beacon of hope in a world often clouded by prejudice and hate. What does this mean for Meghan Sussex and for us? It's a question that's been reverberating throughout this discourse. If we strip away the layers of unfounded disdain and the relentless spotlight, we are left with a woman who is relentlessly human, as all of us are. Meghan Sussex, caught in a maelstrom of vitriol, stands as a testament to the strength of character and the power of resilience. We've journeyed through the Great Divide, navigated the rough waters of unreasoned hatred, and witnessed the sterling defence by Afua Hagen. It's been a roller coaster ride of emotions, yet, at its core, it's a narrative that mirrors many of our own struggles. The struggle to be seen, to be heard, and most importantly, to be understood. Afua Hagen's defence of Meghan Sussex isn't just about one woman standing up for another. It's a clarion call for all of us to question the narratives we are fed, to look beyond the surface, and to find the truth. It's about standing up against the tide of negativity and choosing to see the person beneath the public persona. This isn't a tale of heroes and villains. It's a story about humanity and the power of empathy. It's about the courage to challenge the status quo and to speak out against injustice. It's a reminder that, like Meghan Sussex, we are more than the labels society places upon us. We are complex, we are diverse, and we are worthy of respect. So, as we draw this narrative to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Let's remember the courage of Afua Hagen and the resilience of Meghan Sussex. Let's challenge the narratives that seek to divide us, and instead, let's choose to see the humanity in each other. In the face of baseless hatred, we can choose to be like Afua Hagen, to question, to reason, and to stand up for what is right. And in doing so, we might just find that we're not as different as we're led to believe.